Hey, welcome to this tutorial about dealing with stress. Yesterday, there were two events that I would like to share with you. That is the reason why I'm doing this tutorial. First of all, I received a message from a student who was explaining to me that she is suffering from major stress issues, that her heart is racing, that she has this negative nagging feeling, and she even had a panic attack. And she wanted some advice. She was seeking out help to deal with her situation. And that triggered me, and I would like to thank her for posing that question. And although I've already messaged her, I would like to tell more and not to make the message like huge. It's easier to do it in words like this in a video. And I'm well. Thank you for reaching out to me, because it's. I think it's a first step into the process of healing, is seeking out help, and it takes courage because most of the time we are afraid, and we might even feel ashamed of what we're feeling, and then seeking out help can be quite a big step. And I think that many people can benefit from the answer. That is why I'm telling you through this video. I've also decided not to do it in a Facebook Live, but to just do a tutorial. And I'm just going with the flow and just experimenting as well. Well, there was a second event yesterday. I attended this festival called From Organization Mind. It's a Dutch organization. They have a website, wijzijnmind.nl. wijzijnmind.nl. And I'm telling you this for the Dutch people who are watching and who are experiencing anxiety issues or ADHD or depression, psychological, mental issues. They have information about it. They give support and guidance. And it already helps to realize that what it is you're experiencing, that you are not the only one, that there is help out there, and things can be done to create a better situation for yourself and to deal with things. I attended a very interesting session with a 23-year-old student. And I would like to share a bit before I move on to the tutorial part. Because that is exactly the reason why I am doing this. She was last year in 2016 in fall. She was in her third year of her study program, and she was doing an internship. She was summoned to go to school with her internship counselor, and this person wanted to talk to her. It set the ball rolling. The question was not about how things were at the internship. No, it was about how things were doing with her. Because, well, she hadn't even realized that she was not doing well. And she was actually suffering from a depression, which she didn't want to admit. And she even had to be admitted in hospital because of it. There was even a point where she wanted... that she saw only one way out of her situation, that depressed she was, and she wanted to end her life. And I am telling as it is. I know that there are more people out there with those thoughts, and it might seem the only option, but it hardly is. There are always other solutions, but you have to know where to look. And our mind plays tricks on us. We might think that there is not a solution because sometimes we're stuck in our minds and we cannot have other ideas or have the creative thinking going on because we're stuck. And when you're in a situation you feel stuck, you need somebody else to get you out of there. And sometimes it already helps just talking to a friend or a mother, a father, or somebody else close to you to get unstuck, because somebody else has a different perception on things, has a different perspective, has gained other insights, and that already might help to get you unstuck of the situation. So it's really, really important. That's what I've learned from her, to talk about it, because when she was in she was in hospital thinking, I don't belong here, this is not who I am. And but before she knew it, she saw that actually those people were experiencing same kind of things, and she felt that she wasn't the only one. Listening to her and watching her strength made me realize that it is so important, well, to talk about it, seek out help, and that there are things you can do. She started running. She ran half marathon, and she did all kinds of sportive activities. And she is going on vacation in half a year, and she hopes to restart studying again next year. But you know what? It's I see a strong woman when I spoke to her. I see a strong woman who is willing to share her story. And it hasn't even been a year. So, and she's still in therapy, and she's still suffering from negativity, from her depressions. She's on medication, but she is building her life. And although she thinks it's too slow, of course she does. When you're that age, things go slowly, and you're impatient. I used to be impatient when I was going from one job to another, and I just decided to quit when I was between age of 18 and 22. But now, being 38, my patience has grown, although my husband keeps on telling me that I wasn't in among the firsts when patience was handed out. But yet, the older you grow, the more patience you will grow. So that might be reassuring. So what if you are suffering from a tremendous amount of stress? Well, what to do, and what to start with. What happens is that when your body is in overdrive and you are working very hard, your body is working hard because stress means that there is adrenaline, that there is cortisol running through your body, and it goes to all vital elements, to all your muscles tighten, your pupil, your eyes widen. Your blood goes to is pumping really hard, so you can either fight or flight and run away from things. That's the stress reaction. Or you can freeze, another form of a stress reaction. So there are several, so that whole process is set in motion, and it is the cortisol that keeps on going. But it's as you can imagine, it is really, really straining, that whole process. So when you keep on experiencing the tightening of the muscles, even the heart racing, that is a sign that you've been in there too long. And a panic attack, it's already like on the step of building stress. So it's the situation has been too long. You can restore the balance of your body, of your by resting, and by creating positive, like positive elements. And positive elements when you, for example, go sporting, and after half an hour, you get these endorphins, and they make you happy, and they diminish the amount of cortisol in your body. So the cortisol is there for the stress, and it makes your body work very hard. The endorphins, they can push down the stress system again and restore the balance, restore the energy balance. because when you're stressed, you're tiring your body. Stress is not only negative. You do need a certain amount of stress when you need to perform. So when you're doing a competition or when you have an exam, you do need that adrenaline, and you do need that, or when there's something going on in a fight or flight situation, and you need to take care of your own well-being, of your own safety, you need to either fight or flight. Then it is necessary. But most of the time, our energy system keeps on working very hard, even though nothing special is happening anymore, because we are still worrying about something what happened, or we're still afraid that something might happen, and that system would need to stop down. So well, rest is really, really important again. That means stepping on the brakes, and I call it recharging the battery. So you need to be aware of the situation in which you are, and you need to be aware of what it is that is happening and what are the sensations in your body. Where do you ache? Do you have headaches? Do you have stomach aches? Do you have muscle ache, or the heart racing is a symptom? What are you experiencing, and how bad is it? It keeps getting worse, and when you are down that path of things worsening, then you do need to intervene. If you do not, and you think, oh well, it will not happen to me, you will enter that stage of the burnout in which more and more people are entering. 1 out of 7 employees experiences or has experienced a burnout. That's a lot. And more and more people in their 20s are experiencing a burnout. You don't want to enter a burnout, because then things have gone too far and you are not capable of doing anything. I've seen it with an old friend of mine. She was in a burnout. She wasn't even capable of having a coffee with a friend. That was already too straining. So you want to prevent that. And the sooner you step on the brakes, the better. So you can prevent things from worsening. Stepping on the brakes means taking very good care of yourself. And rest is one of those elements. Going to bed early or early enough. Even though you think you might not fall asleep, see if you can do some relaxation techniques. There's a lot on YouTube. You can do the body scan, which I have shown you, or listen to music, which might calm you down. And when you go to bed in a certain time, every single day, your body gets used to it, and you will receive the signal that you are ready to go to bed. So going to bed on a certain amount of time is very important, because you need to rest. Your body needs to rest, restore the energy balance. Otherwise, you are wearing yourself out. I can imagine when you're a student, resting is it's so unpopular, and it's not fun to say, hey, I'm going home, I need to take a rest, or I need to nap, and it's just not popular, and you want to do all these nice things. The thing is, when you don't take care of yourself, you will not be able to do those nice things for a very long time, because you lack the energy. And you want to prevent that from happening. That is why I am warning you to step on the brakes and be careful of what it is you need. Be aware of what it is you need. That means being mindful about it. I'm taking a little breath and water. So that means that you need to be aware of your own needs, and listen to them in the moment. So when you feel that it's good to have a break, take that break. Go outside for a walk. If you are experiencing many negative thoughts, then setting yourself in motion, literally, physically, helps a lot. And you don't need to run half a marathon to be able to benefit from it. it's already enough to take a walk, to go outside, sniff in the fresh air, and just set yourself in motion, because setting your body in motion sets already your mind in motion. So take walks, but connecting to nature, going to the park, and just be aware, focus, see the birds, the ducks. There's always some animals around that make you just enjoy the moment and be present in the moment. But also take a nap when you need it, and a small nap is already enough, or just closing your eyes for 10 minutes is already enough. Listening to music can calm the mind. The thing what you really shouldn't do is run away from it, and we have so many tactics to run away from stress, and I know many of them. I've tried many of them, but I know that in the short term it seems like they're helpful, but in the long term they're not, and that is important to realize. So what are those tactics? Well, one of my favorites is food. You can eat the nagging feeling away, and literally what happens is you're not feeling well, and when you're not feeling well, somewhere in your body there is a tension building up, so you can always feel it somewhere. Maybe you're not aware of it, but it is there. And when you start eating, you can literally eat that nagging feeling away, but it won't solve the problem, and in the end you will, and especially when you ate something unhealthy, because most of the time when we feel not energetic, we crave for fat food, salty food, and sugars. And you know what happens. I don't need to tell you that when you eat sugars, you get a sugar rush. You're feeling happy for a moment, energetic, but then it plummets, and you feel bad because your energy level has dropped, and you feel bad about yourself because you ate again, and it gives you a bad feeling about your own behavior. So and in the long run you gain on weight, and you will have less energy, and that's something you don't want, because there are you don't get to do all the things you want, and you are experiencing a lot of negativity. So eating healthy food is very important. Don't drink caffeine too much, especially in the evening, because in the evening it may prevent you from falling asleep, and it even can make you feel on edge when you drink too much caffeine. I don't know that feeling because I don't drink too much coffee, but I know people who have, especially highly sensitive people, they can get really tensed by it. Watch out for alcohol as well. I do like to drink a beer every now and then, and I don't drink that much. But there was a time when I only had like 2, 3, a bit of the heavier beer, and after that my whole mood started deteriorating. And that was in those moments when I was having a fight with my husband, and that was really nasty. So be careful with alcohol. Everybody responds differently, and from own experience, there's sometimes that I feel a happy vibe and I feel more relaxed after a beer. But that feeling of feeling relaxed and happy, that can be you might want to have more of that. So before you know it, you start drinking more. I never got to that stage, luckily, but food used to be for me my coping strategy. I'm not going to say much about drugs. I don't have experience with drugs or with people taking drugs, but I have heard from several students that they were well, experimenting with drugs, but now they are not anymore. I think it's the ultimate way of not feeling things and running away from feelings. And in the end, you don't get to learn how to deal with negative emotions, but you also don't get to experience the positive, or well, the effect on your well-being is not good, and you get addicted to it. But you're basically running away from life. And I think that there are so many other possibilities to enjoy life and to make the most out of it without using drugs. We all know that it's bad for our health. So, well, I will leave it at that. Yeah, eating healthy. I dislike all those food hypes. There are many of them. I think from just thinking logically, you know what is healthy and what is not. And you should watch your fat and the sugar levels. Eat your veggies, eat your fruits, and drink a lot of water. Today I didn't drink too much, and I was feeling a little bit of, I was feeling tired, and then I thought, wait a minute, I forgot to drink. So that is why I'm having a glass of water next to me. So it's a very, very important element for feeling energized. So yeah, eating healthy, sporting is really important, or moving. Sporting is even better than just walking, but walking is good enough. Resting, recharging the batteries. Those are all the physical elements of improving your energy level. And when you build on your inner strength, it's of course all long term. So when you incorporate these elements into your life, then you build more strength to deal with all the challenges you need to face. As I don't want to make this tutorial too long, I will just mention the other elements shortly, but I will do another tutorial about those other 3 elements about building strength, and that's positive thinking, very important. It's building supportive relationships, and leading a meaningful life. Those are very important as well. I think since I'm moving towards 25 minutes for now, I'm going to take it to an end. I hope you found it interesting, and that there are some elements you can use and incorporate into your own life. And it's about taking these small steps. Every change you make into your life creates already a little stress, because our system likes to stay in the comfort zone, and every little change, or bigger change, every change is stressful. When you keep the change small and you take a small step, then our system can still handle it, and it won't cause you stress. And you can ask yourself every single day, what can I incorporate? What can I start with? And it is up to you to decide, because you know what feels best for you today. So I hope you learn from this, and that you will have a lower stress level, because that's how you get to create that happier life in which you have inner peace, a peace of mind, and do the things you love to do, and in the end you can add value to other people's lives as well. Take care and have a nice evening.